So imagine a friend who wants to throw this massive, incredibly lavish party at your house.
Sounds pretty disruptive.
Right. Well, they invite millions of people, they keep every single gift brought to the door, but when the party is over, they hand you the bill for the cleanup.
Yeah, that is a terrible friend.
That is essentially the tax-free deal the U.S., Mexico, and Canada are giving FIFA for the 2026 World Cup. So today we're doing a deep dive into why host countries are surrendering billions in taxes and, what this actually means for your local economy.
It is a dynamic that completely upends how we usually think about mega events, really. Like, who actually pays for them?
Okay, let's unpack this. Normally, I'd assume a country agrees to host something as colossal as the World Cup because they're going to heavily tax the ticket sales.
Right, the merchandise, the broadcast rights.
Exactly, to fund their own infrastructure. That's the standard trade-off.
Yeah, that is how it usually works. But what's fascinating here is FIFA's absolute leverage. They essentially operate a monopoly over the most watched sporting event on the planet.
Right, they hold all the cards.
So during the bidding process, they make a tax-free guarantee a completely non-negotiable condition.
Wow.
Yeah. If a government refuses, well, FIFA just packs up and awards the tournament to another country who's willing to play ball.
So they basically hold the cultural prestige hostage, to protect their revenue streams.
Exactly. They ensure their three main revenue pillars, which are TV rights, global sponsors like Adidas and Coca-Cola, and ticket sales, just flow entirely untouched by local income or value-added taxes.
It's just a pure untaxed profit funnel.
Yep.
But here's where it gets really interesting, though, because if you look at how the Mexican government's tax authority, the SAT, is handling 2026, the exemptions aren't actually a blanket pass across the board.
Right. They put some exceptions in place.
Yeah, and the mechanism behind it is pretty staggering.
The loophole is fascinating when you look at why certain things are taxed and others just aren't.
Okay, like what?
Well, because TV rights and global sponsorships are structured as offshore corporate revenues, FIFA easily shields them under the exemption.
Makes sense.
But the local host broadcasters, they still have to pay taxes under specific local schemes.
Oh, wow. So local companies pay.
Exactly. And the real surprise is the athletes themselves.
Wait, the ones actually out there running and sweating on the field?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the foreign players are performing physical labor on Mexican soil, the SAT actually classifies that as direct taxable local income.
You're kidding.
Nope. So if they receive bonuses or salaries proportional to the games they play in Mexico, they get hit with an income tax rate of like 25 to 35%.
Wait, I have to jump in on that. So it's basically like the billionaire owner of a restaurant paying zero taxes on their massive profits, while the line cooks sweating in the kitchen are getting hit with a 35% income tax.
Right.
That massive disparity is just wild.
It's a perfect analogy, honestly.
Yeah.
The multinational corporate giants pull in billions and get a complete free pass.
Right.
While the individual athletes and local contractors doing the actual heavy lifting are the ones who foot the bill.
Which naturally forces the question, right? With that kind of lopsided setup, is hosting this tournament a financial win for the host nation, or is it just a massive drain?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, the sources present two completely conflicting economic realities. And just to be clear, we aren't taking sides here. We're just reporting what these groups are arguing in the source material.
Right, absolutely. So what are they saying?
So the official government stance argues this is a massive net positive. They project a $3 billion indirect economic boost, and that's just for Mexico alone.
Wow, $3 billion.
Yeah, from an influx of over 5 million tourists. Their logic is that this spending simply wouldn't exist without the tournament.
Right, the opportunity cost argument. But then you have the NGO perspective from our sources, which points out the actual opportunity cost. They point out that while FIFA is projected to make nearly $9 billion across the three host nations completely untaxed, public money is subsidizing all the logistics, the security, and the infrastructure.
Yeah, they argue that the tax dollars being spent on, say, police overtime for the stadiums could have gone to fixing local roads or schools.
Exactly. And for you, the listener, living in a host city, this translates directly into your everyday life.
Right, we're talking rapid gentrification, spiking Airbnb rents, and immense pressure on public utilities.
Like your local water supply, yeah.
It really changes the math.
So what does this all mean? I mean, when you strip away the branding and the excitement of the games, the FIFA tax-free model essentially functions as a forced public subsidy for a highly lucrative private entertainment industry.
Yeah, that's the bottom line.
Sure, local restaurants and hotels might see a temporary boom, but the public treasury sacrifices direct revenue from the biggest transactions.
Which brings us right back to that friend throwing the party at your house. This raises an important question for you to think about. If a sports organization can act as a sovereign entity that successfully overrides national tax laws, at what point does the cultural prestige of hosting a global mega event stop being worth the price tag of the cleanup?
And to take it a step further, you really have to wonder, if we keep accepting this for sports, how long until other massive private industries demand the exact same sovereign tax exemptions to bring their business to your city?